Well, what's going on YouTube? This is Revive Slayerz, and today we're going to be taking a look at the options menu in Warframe. I'm going to do this video because I've said that I want people to start playing this game, or that you should play this game. Not really telling you to play this game, obviously, that's your choice, but if anyone did actually start playing this game from that video and you're new to this game, then I'm going to show you now what options you should be looking at when you start the game. So options on game settings, whatever you want to call them, these are something that I look at as soon as I start up a game. So I want to show you what you should be choosing and what you should be choosing for your preference. So simply all you do when you're either in a game or in your ship, all you want to do is pause the game with the start button, and then simply go down to options. And then here we've got 6 different tabs. So you got controls, gameplay, chat, HUD, display and audio. There's quite a few settings to this game because it was a PC port, so they kind of left a lot of PC settings in this game, which you wouldn't normally find in a console game, something like that. But these settings are for Xbox and PS4. I'm sure they should basically be the same thing. There might be like one extra that might be exclusive to one console. I'm not sure, but I'm saying this is not PC, so this isn't graphics settings. I mean, there are graphics settings obviously, but nothing like resolution or whatever other stuff PC players have. I'm not a PC gamer myself, so. But yeah, let's get into it. First up, we're going to look at controls. Invert Y-axis. This basically makes it so if you look up with your right analog stick, it'll look down instead, and vice versa. If you play like this, then have that. I used to play like that on PS2 because I don't know, but now it would just be weird to me. Sensitivity, this is obviously your preference. Look sensitivity, aim sensitivity was scoped. I have my scoped turned down a lot more. I have my look sensitivity and aim sensitivity the same. Probably should turn this one down just a tad, but when you're zoomed in it slows down naturally anyway. But the way I like to do sensitivity is basically look at a certain point and then do a full 360 spin, and then time how long it would normally take me to do that full 360 spin. So I do that for every single game, so my sensitivity matches up, stuff like that. So this is obviously your preference, but try and get it to what you normally use so you're more comfortable. Next up, we got customized controller. This basically shows you all the controls, your power menu, and Lorano. This is for the new game mode. I hadn't actually looked at this for a while. This one's actually changed since I last looked at it. So what you can do in this is actually change all the controls yourself. So for the right button here, the right analog stick, when you press it in, normally people won't have this, but I can reverse my camera. So if we go back into the game, if you look, when I aim in, when I press my right stick, I can switch shoulders. This is really good for when, say, I'm looking at this side of the wall. When I go to this side, I have to stick my whole body around. I can do this instead. Just makes it easier and I'm more protected. Oh, Lotus, please move. Alright, so let's go back into options. So yeah, you can look at a variety of buttons here that you can choose. For example, you might feel like you don't need a button. For example, I've got rid of my left on the D-pad and right on the D-pad to put different things here. So right on the D-pad for me, it's basically medkits from the Division. It's basically the exact same thing for me. It'll take a while for you to set that up because you actually need to make the medkits, and they may take a while, but I'll go into that at a later stage. And then there's my secondary fire in case I've got something like harpoons as a secondary on my gun or something like that. Anyway, moving down, enable controller aim assist. I've always played with this off on my game. I just have. I don't know why. I just have it off on this game. It's just never been on for me, I don't think. So that's that. It probably would help you a lot more to have this on. but I've just never had this on this game. I always have it on every other game, but this game I just haven't. But yeah, you would benefit more, I suppose, if you have that on. Controller vibration, I would prefer to have this off, which I'm actually going to do now, because it's kind of distracting in my opinion. But a lot of you probably will like controller vibration, just makes you feel more immersed, I suppose. Align attack to camera, so this is when you're swinging your melee weapon, and then the camera will basically focus on the target. So if I do this, I'm not moving my camera at all, but if I swing, it will snap the camera towards the enemy. Unless my dog wants to slaughter the enemy instead, it'll just snap the camera. So melee auto targeting, this is kind of the same thing as the camera snapping. If you go near an enemy, as you saw in the footage just a second ago, the melee weapon will kind of lock onto the target. This is not for PvP, this is just PvE, you have to get special mods for PvP. Camera tracks melee target, basically the same thing as just before. If you're constantly swinging a target with a melee weapon, the camera will just lock onto them so they don't go out of sight. Crouch button is toggle. Alright, yeah, so as you can see there, I held my button for a couple of seconds then to crouch, and basically to exit the slide I have to hold the button again, which is pretty bad. I don't like that at all, so I would recommend keeping this off. So while just to slide you can hold LB, because crouching in this game is generally not that useful unless you want to get under obstacles, which you have to now and again. So I'd recommend keeping that off. Toggle sprint, I'd keep this on, otherwise you'd have to constantly hold down the left analog stick, which I wouldn't recommend doing because probably put a bit of strain on your thumb, probably break your analog stick a bit faster. And in most games this is probably set to default to on anyway. Toggle sprint, like COD, stuff like that. If you press the sprint button, it sprints. Toggle aim weapon, I would not recommend putting this on either. This basically means if you hold in the left trigger, or L2 on PlayStation I believe it is, once you press the left trigger or L2 in, it stays in, your aim just stays on until you press it again. So I wouldn't recommend having this on. Toggle melee block, you might want to keep this on, to be honest. Probably be pretty decent if you want to keep this on. Basically once you hold RT to block with your weapon, it will just stay there like that. So probably be better, to be honest. So instead of having to hold RT whilst running a target, if you just press it once, you're always blocking. It's up to you though. I've always had this off because it's just always naturally off, so I've just never gone into the menu to actually tick this on. But personal preference, play around with that to see what you want. Toggle melee channel, I would recommend having this on. Might try this off because now and again I do like to have a quick boost with my so if you don't know what channeling is, if you press LT whilst your melee weapon's out, you will be able to basically use your energy pull that you have with your Warframe to do extra damage with your melee weapon. And basically if you upgrade this, it can be pretty powerful and pretty big boost to damage. So if you toggle this on, basically once you press LT, that's it, the channeling's in effect, and it will be in effect until you toggle it back off again with LT or L2. And basically this has always been on for me. Personal preference though, this one's up to you, how you want to play. Context action includes reload. This is basically like if you press to open a locker, it'll be the same button as X. This has always been the natural button for me. Pressing X will reload my weapon, and pressing X will interact with consoles and stuff like that. You can play around with this if you want. For example, if you want to go to reload and you accidentally jump on a wire or something like that, which can be kind of annoying. You can obviously put the context action button on a different button with the controller mapping up here. So play around with that, see what you prefer. Invert X-axis, I believe this is left and right. I don't know why you do that, but that's up to you. If you play that way, then do that. And melee combos, we'll get into that at a later stage, that's something different. Alright, going on to gameplay. So, allow invites. I allow all invites, so, because when you go on recruit chat, if you have this set to friends or none, you can't get invites from people in recruit chat, so you might as well just keep this on all. Region, I would recommend playing in your region, so I would normally be Europe because I'm in UK, but I always play on North America West, Yes, the ping and the lag is pretty high and terrible, but there's not that many players that play from Europe, so I am connected to this one. I think this is probably the closest one. I don't know, it probably is the closest one to us compared to any others. If you can't find people to play with in Europe, just go with North America West. Ping limit. Ping limit basically is how bad the connection can be. So if you have it on no limit, that basically means the connection can be as bad as it wants. Let's say if you have an 100 ping limit, basically you will be finding very good connection servers all the time and games and stuff like that. But for me, because I find that I can't really get into a game that often, and I have to connect to the North America West servers, if I have it on 100, I'm never going to be able to connect to a server or somebody that I want to play with. But if you do play in your region, for example, if you are in North America and you're playing on North America, then you can change the ping limit to what you want, because people do play from there quite a lot, so that is up to you. Legacy colour palettes. One more colour palettes now. So if we go into options, change that. Classic saturated has definitely changed a lot. That one's changed a lot too. These bring out some really different colours as well. Kind of nice. Never really experimented with this before, so definitely different. So look how washed out the colours look. And then if you can see quite clearly there that they're kind of washed out, especially there. But if we go to change that setting back, there we go. The colours are a lot more vibrant and saturated now compared to what they were. So really, if you really want to, you can make the most out of this colour palette. When you first start the game, all you get are these colours that I'm scrolling through now. So really, if you really want to, you can keep changing that to basically get double the amount of colours when you start. Alright, moving on, we got gore. Gore is basically how much blood and limbs there are in the game that can come off and come out enemies when you cut them, and stuff like that, or blow them up, whatever you want to do. I keep gore enabled, but some people might not like that kind of stuff, so you can keep that on or off. That is honestly your preference. I can't really tell you to keep that on or off, but if you do want gore, keep it on. Keep it ticked, but if you don't want gore, then just turn it off. Alright, next up we got chat. So region chat. Region chat is basically, this region here. We got basically everybody that's in this region, the west region. They're basically going to be in this chat and they can all talk to each other, like you can see now. I don't really use region chat, I don't think that many people do, but people can go there to ask for help. I preferably keep that off because I don't really like to go in region chat. I don't really use it, because personally, if I want to look for someone, I will go for recruiting chat, which we're going to look at now. Recruiting chat, I would keep this on if I was you, in case you want to look for people to play with for a certain mission, want to see help. You could turn this off when you don't need it and turn it on when you do need it, but I don't think there's that much point. Trade chat, this is basically where you go trade items, stuff like that. It's personally up to you whether you have it on or not. Some people probably won't get into trading until the later games, so in earlier games you might want to turn these two off, maybe. Recruit chat, I'd recommend keeping it on in case you do need help. Trade chat, you probably don't need to use it earlier in the game, but it's up to you. Profanity filter, this basically, if you have it on, it'll cancel out swear words, swear words. So if you have it ticked, basically if someone puts a naughty word with 4 letters, it will come up as 4 stars, but obviously if you keep it off, if someone puts a naughty 4-letter word in there, then that 4-letter word will show just how it would do normally. So if you want to keep this on, that's up to you. If you want to take it off to be able to see them naughty words, because it's kind of annoying when they get cancelled out. I kind of swear a lot, to be honest, so I just keep this off. Chat message timestamps, I just keep these on because it's nice to see when someone types a message. So as you can see in the bottom left, you can see the time that they put the messages. So I'd rather just keep this on so I can see if someone actually put something to me a while ago and then I've actually missed it, and then I've come back to it now. I can say, sorry, I didn't realise you sent this that long ago, something like that. Chat text size. You got small, medium, large. Mine's always been on medium. I've never really changed it, so let's go on small quickly. So you can see how small the letters are right there. Let's go on to recruit chat because there's normally a lot of people in there. There's not a lot of people in there at the minute. Okay, we'll go to trading. But anyway, you can see there the text is pretty small. I'm gonna go back. So if we want to put it on large, try and get the bigger difference. Yeah, okay, there we go. Quite a big difference there. So yeah, this is really your preference. I've always kept it on medium. I think medium's pretty much the best of both. Inline private messages. So this is where people can send you private messages, and so say I'm on this chat, someone can send me a private message by using a command in the game, and basically the message will be inlined into the rest of the text, and basically this means that I should be able to see it a bit clear, and I think it turns it into a different colour as well, so that's kind of nice. Active tab notifications only. Okay, this is kind of bad, to be honest. I wouldn't recommend putting this on because if I'm in recruit chat, I'm only going to get notifications in the bottom left of people that send me messages in recruit chat. So if someone sends me a private message, I will never see it as a notification, which is kind of terrible, so I would not recommend putting this on. Emojis is text. So for example, if I put in my clan chat, no one's there, so if I put a smiley face, there I go, it's a smiley face, so colon and a bracket, that's a smiley face. If I turn this on, go back, there we go, it just says smile. You know, it's kind of boring, so keep this off. Emoji colour is exactly what it says it is and where it shows. I keep mine orange because, wait, let me just save this before I change. I keep mine orange because I like orange. You can probably see from my logo and my banner on YouTube. But you can put this as whatever colour you want. There's a nice variety of colours, even that one if that one's a bit more of an orange. A bit too orange in my liking. There's a black one, blue. So yeah, that's your preference. Conversion, yeah, you might as well just keep this on. It's up to you. If you want to put smiley face so it actually shows up and as a colon, as a bracket, that's up to you, but I like the conversion so it actually puts into a smiley face so people can see it quite clearly, something like that. Manage ignore list, we don't really need to get into that. If you want to ignore someone on here, and you have before, there is a command to ignore people if they get on your nerves. Basically you can just manage the people that you've ignored are there.